Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Filter. We're actually doing Unfiltered Weekly this week. So I've gathered some news stories, and typically I like to keep them a little bit more in short form. But this week we're going a little bit longer. I got some really fun stories I want to share with you guys all. They're a good combination of science, social media, trends, all of those things happening. And I just kind of want to share that. Again, they're a little bit longer, so I hope you enjoyed the content this week. We will be back with more episodes with guests on Behind the Filter. We're also in the middle of doing another episode with Ashley on After Dark, so you'll just have to wait for those. But while you are here, thank you for listening. Thank you to ahead of the time subscribing. So yes, that means I want you wherever you are, you make sure you subscribe. Or you follow us. We are all over social media. So make sure you find us, you subscribe. We stream wherever you stream your podcast at. We are on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Substack, also online on my website at JohnetteCruz.com. And you know what the funny thing is? Lately, my voice has gotten a little coarse, a little raspy. And I think it's because I literally talk all day, every day. I talk into a mic all day. And I do it for 8 to 9 hours. And I think my voice sometimes is like, dude, give me a break. What are you doing? And I've had some issues. So excuse me if I sound a little hoarse for this week's podcast episode. I'm trying. I gotta go find some I don't know, some throat lozenges or something. All right, guys, so things just got interesting. I so wanted to share this. We're talking about AI challenging the U.S. government on two widely different, equally unsettling fronts. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has reportedly cooked up a brand new team, the Directors Initiative Group, DIG for short. So what is their goal? They want to unleash AI to dig through all of the internal emails and chats across every single U.S. intelligence agency. Yes, even the classified ones. Their stated mission is to store mountains of internal data. And here's the kicker. They want to root out what they're calling politicization. They haven't gotten access to the servers yet, but the very idea is setting off alarm bells. Critics are already warning that this internal AI watchdog could become a prime target for hackers, or even worse, be weaponized against individuals deemed disloyal. And I say that with air quotes, if you are listening and not watching. So while the government is wrestling with AI inside its walls, it's also facing a terrifying new threat outside. Get this, someone, somewhere, somebody, used AI to impersonate none than the other Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. We're talking AI-generated voice notes, text. They're all sent over through Signal, making calls to 3 foreign ministers, a U.S. governor, and even a member of Congress. All it takes is a few seconds of someone's voice, and then suddenly a deep fake version of them is communicating with world leaders. I mean, I just think that's absolutely insane. That's literally not just a prank. It's a sophisticated act of digital espionage and potentially and totally flat out crazy. It also makes you wonder, how secure are some of these messaging apps? So what does it all mean for us? It means AI isn't just some new cool tool, kind of has a dual-edged sword. It's becoming both an instrument for potential internal surveillance, giving power to those who control it, and also a scary, effective tool for external deception, making it harder than ever to actually really find out who you're talking to. Our national security system, I believe, is built for a different era. And I think it's kind of scrambling to keep up pace with this rapidly evolving AI landscape. And the lines are getting blurred. So we'll just have to wait and see what exactly happens with the continuation of the growth of AI. For the longest time, we've been trying to figure out the puzzle of autism spectrum disorder. Why is it so incredibly varied from one person to the next? It's been a massive head scratcher for scientists. Well, now a game-changing study from Princeton University published in a super high-profile journal, and it's actually called Nature Genetics. They're saying it's not just one autism. They've uncovered evidence for 4 distinct subtypes. These 4 different profiles have emerged. So we have the social navigators, folks whose primary challenges are the social and behavior interactions. Then you have mixed bag, a blend of ASD traits with noticeable developmental delays. You also have the moderate challengers, people with more moderate but still significant challenges. And then you have broad spectrum, a wider impact across many different areas. Each of these subtypes actually showed different links to different genetic mutations. This helps explain why past genetic studies sometimes felt like they were hitting a wall, because they were looking for one story when there was actually multiple and distinctly very different narratives playing out. Now, why is this just now hitting your newsfeed right now? Well, there's a big conversation happening all around autism, and the study adds a whole new layer to the genetic side of things. While this research is groundbreaking and promises a deeper understanding, it also sparks an incredibly important conversation about how we use this knowledge. Okay, guys, this story is so cute, maybe not so cute. You're just gonna have to let me know, because when I found this, I was like, I have to share this. So you know them. You might know them. We can call them the Disney adults, right? The ones who can recite every line from Little Mermaid, or who plan their outfits around their park visits, and who firmly believe that a churro is a valid meal any time of the day. I mean, I believe that, but I don't go to Disney very often. So for years, these dedicated fans have navigated the tricky world of dating, often wondering, where can I find my own Prince Charming or my Cinderella who gets my love for all things Disney? Well, folks, you might just get your little fairy tale, because this is also from the New York Post. They just broke this news and I love it. Single Disney fans are getting their very own dating app. It's called Single Riders, a brilliant play on the park's single rider lines, which, let's be honest, are often where solo adventurers find their temporary ride buddies. So this isn't just some corporate Disney creation. It's actually the brainchild of a dedicated Disney superfan. And the excitement is absolutely just amazing. So what's the magic behind this app? So Single Riders aims to connect theme park enthusiasts, so primarily Disney adults, who share that deep, unshakable passion for Disney. Imagine swiping through profiles and finding someone who's not just okay with your annual pass, but who can literally debate the best quick service restaurant in Epcot or strategize the perfect plan with you. The creators are planning for this app to be more than just a place to find romance. They're also building an option for platonic friendships. So, just to create friends that actually just love going to Disney. Because let's face it, sometimes you just need a buddy to hit Star Wars, or someone who's just down to go to a spontaneous trip to Disney. So one of the features people that actually have already been begging for is a way to see if other single riders are currently at the park. So then you can actually meet with them for an impromptu date, or share a ride, or go on Space Mountain together. I mean, I'm telling you, this is so cute. I love it. So the app is actually currently in beta testing. And they're, testing it out, asking people for input from the community on what features they would like to see within the app. And they're just going to continue testing it out to see if it works. And we'll stay tuned to see what happens with it. So here's another social media trend that's got doctors, well, frankly, just horrified. Forget your tattoos. We're talking about something called freeze branding, and it's actually going viral. This isn't like your typical tattoo parlor experience. And actually, the New York Post just reported on this alarming new craze sweeping across social media, of course, where people are intentionally giving themselves or others permanent raised scars using incredibly cold metal. So traditional branding uses extreme heat to create a mark. Freeze branding basically does the opposite, using temperatures as low as negative 300 degrees Fahrenheit. We're talking liquid nitrogen levels of cold to destroy your skin cells and then create a permanent depigmented and raised scar. It's being touted as this cooler, less painful alternative to traditional branding or even some scarification techniques. Some enthusiasts are claiming it offers a unique artistic look that's different from ink, but here is where the medical community steps in. The doctors got interviewed by the Post, and they're issuing some big warnings here. We're not just talking about a regular procedure. It actually carries some massive risks. So you can think about frostbite. It's intentionally done. Not only does that happen, but then you have skin trauma. You have a risk of high infection, not just superficial ones, but deep, serious bacterial infections that can land you in the hospital. Then there's the possibility of nerve damage. So that even leads to permanent numbness, chronic pain in that specific affected area. And let's not forget the long-term scarring. These aren't just subtle scars. They're prominent, they're discolored, and they're irreversible. So while the allure of a unique body modification might be cool and strong for some, doctors are really urging extreme caution. They stress that these procedures are being done by untrained individuals, a lot of times in unsanitary conditions outside of any regulated medical or even tattooing framework. There's no safety standards for intentionally freezing your skin to this degree. So I don't know about you guys. I would stay away from this trend. In a world where viral trends pop off overnight, we know this all the time. This is just a stark reminder that not everything you see online is safe or even sane. This pursuit of a unique form of self-expression should absolutely never, ever come at the cost of your long-term health. Okay, listen to this one. We all know weddings are all about love and celebration and creating beautiful memories. But what happens when those beautiful memories come at the cost of your guests? You know, like basic comfort or worse, their health? Folks, you've got to listen to this. Get ready for, I would like to call it the Thirst Games, okay? The Thirst Games wedding. So this story is a story of a recent nuptial that basically went viral, but for all the completely wrong, different reasons. Imagine this. A bride who is completely obsessed with achieving that perfect minimalist Pinterest vibe reportedly banned water bottles from her wedding. Her reasoning? They would ruin the aesthetic. Now, if this wedding had been, in a nice air-conditioned ballroom, maybe it just would have been a fun little quirky detail, right? But no, this was an outdoor wedding. The ceremony took place in a blistering 102 degree Fahrenheit heat. Direct sun, no fans, no shade, for a grueling 45 minutes, okay? So according to a Reddit post, it basically ignited a widespread outrage. Guests quickly began to suffer. We're talking about heat exhaustion, and you can get really sick from heat exhaustion and heat strokes. So we're talking about people, just basically passing out because they're so hot. While the bride was focused on her beige, plush, and white palette, the only hydration offered during the ceremony were these tiny little cucumber mint spritzers. Yes, in 102 degree weather. Not exactly what you need when you're feeling like you're melting, okay? So the situation even escalated dramatically. One guest reportedly had to sit down mid-vows. The groom's elderly aunt showed clear signs of heat exhaustion, and she needed to be helped inside. And the bride's reaction to all of this visible distress? No actual water was still offered until after the ceremony. Even then, it was a single hydration station with a staff member pouring water into these really little tiny dainty glasses, leading to long, desperate lines. Okay, but the cherry on top, get this. In a truly jaw-dropping moment, when the groom's mother, good Lord, she pulled out a hydro flask from her bag. So the bride allegedly went crazy and told everybody that they had to take it away from her because, a practical life-saving bottle or life-saving water bottle would just basically ruin her wedding vibe. So as you can imagine, the internet completely went wild on Reddit, while the wedding story reportedly, from what we hear, looked gorgeous like on Instagram, basically like a magazine spread. Guests left with a memorable, albeit incredibly uncomfortable experience. The whole saga has sparked a massive debate. Like, where do we draw the line between wedding aesthetics and basic human decency? Many online commentators are suggesting that if visuals are truly the sole concern, maybe just do a photo shoot and skip the actual guests. So, I don't know. You got to tell me what you think about that story. I think that's just absolutely insane. First of all, why would you even want to plan a wedding in 105-degree weather is beyond me. I mean, I walk outside and in 2 minutes, my face is oily and I'm dying. So that would definitely not be me. So there you have it. That is this week's podcast episode with Unfiltered Weekly. You can get all the details to all these stories on my website at JohnetteCruz.com. Hey, don't forget, follow me. And also make sure you follow me on TikTok. I do have a personal account. So we have Behind the Filter, and then we have my account. It's the Johnette Cruz. And I add in national news, state of Indiana news, and things that are just happening all around social media. I'm really fun to follow. So anyways, see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.